If you are new to our channel, please support us by subscribing our channel and to watch more of such news and updates. Let's dive into the report.
10 months after his arrest, the illegal immigrant accused of murdering Rachel Marin will have a pretrial hearing today, with the trial expected to begin later this week. He's also accused of a murder in El Salvador prior to crossing the border in 2023 and another brutal home invasion and assault here in the U.S. Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett joins us now. Greg, this should be about 2 weeks. He'll get an attorney, but there is no defense that I could see. This guy's going down, right?
Yeah, his own DNA, Brian, will likely put him behind bars for the rest of his life. It was found on the body of the victim. I mean, the chances it could be somebody else's DNA is astronomical. So this kind of powerful scientific evidence, incredibly persuasive in front of a jury. But you're right, this guy was a serial predator, wanted in the U.S. for crimes, wanted for murder in El Salvador, which is why he fled to the U.S. when Joe Biden opened the borders. You know, Biden allowed millions to freely cross over. Murderers, rapists, gang members, no background checks, no vetting, and countless innocent victims, just like Rachel Marin, paid the price with their lives for Biden's insane policy. And it's going to take years and sadly many more violent crimes to catch and evict these people. So the damage that he did to human life is incalculable.
And now we got to spend all this money to put him through a trial. He was hiding in a drainage culvert before ambushing the 37-year-old mother of 5. Took him 10 months to track him down, but they found him drinking in a bar in Oklahoma. So another tragic story. And about an hour from now, we're going to have a story again of a legal immigrant criminal who did virtually the same thing. This guy's name was Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez. Meanwhile, let's talk about what's happening with this judge shopping to tap into your legal knowledge a little bit more. You know, these district judges, 600 strong, are going out of their way to stop the Trump agenda. This is what Trump posted on social media. People are shocked by what is going on with the court system. I was elected for many reasons, but a principal one was law and order. If it was up to District Judge Boasberg and other radical left judges, nobody would be removed from the country. The president wouldn't be allowed to do his job, and people's lives would be devastated all throughout the country. So now the House is going to pick this up, and they're going to try to do something. But is this going to be a venting session, or is there legal things you can do with these district judges?
Well, these are activist judges blocking a policy agenda of the president. They do it 2 ways. You know, they run to a favorable judge where the outcome against Trump is preordained. It's called judge shopping. It's unethical. But the other thing they're doing, once the judge has been shopped, that judge issues a nationwide injunction against Trump, exerting power they don't have and usurping the power of the president, demolishing the separation of power. Look, there's a bill in the House, a bill in the Senate to take away the power of the judges in the regard I've just described. Even if it dies with a filibuster, it's incumbent upon the Supreme Court. They have the power under a law passed by Congress to strike down all of these universal injunctions and stop it. You know, even the liberal judges have complained on the Supreme Court about these district court judges exceeding their authority. Think about it, 677 district court judges, all of them can overrule and countermand the president. It's got to stop. It's up to John Roberts and the Supreme Court to place limits.
Yep, it would be great also to not allow the judge shopping. Wherever you are and you file, that's where it is. You don't keep picking Washington, D.C. Thanks so much, Greg. Yeah, appreciate it. I know they passed a law to allow judge shopping. Now they should undo that.
With America's wise man, our friend Victor Davis Hanson, Article 2, Section 1, the first sentence says, the executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States of America. Then I dare to turn to Article 3, Section 1. The first sentence says, the judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court, and in such inferior courts as the Congress may from time to time ordain and establish. Seems to be a little bit upside down, does it not? We have about 700 of these federal district judges. Congress has created the districts. They've created these judges. These judges are there for life. Nobody knows who the hell they are. through the process. They don't stand for election like a president of the United States. The president's in the Constitution. It says what his authority is. These congressionally created judges are in there. How has it come to be that a single federal judge with 2 law clerks in some city in America can issue a national injunction telling the president of the United States, you turn those planes around with those Venezuelan criminals, rapists, and murderers in there. Why? Because I said so, and I want to take a look at it. How did that happen, Victor Davis Hanson?
Well, it was an organized effort. Right now, Judge Boasberg's the most powerful man in America, Mark. He's controlling the national security policy of the United States. There's about 330 or 40 of these liberal judges. They're cherry-picked by these well-financed groups. It's all a symptom. They don't have a counter agenda. They can't say, this is what their Democrats stand for in the border, crime, the economy, etc. They lost the White House, the Congress, they lost the Supreme Court, they lost the popular vote, the electoral. So this is a reaction to their impotence and irrelevance. And they use street theater on one hand, destroy Tesla by basically terrorism, swat people at his home. And I got swatted where 3 sheriffs showed up at my home from a fake 911 call.
Wow.
And then they go to this impotent Congress, and they use potty, smutty mouth videos or ninja boxing. It's just pathetic. And then they use the judiciary, and they create 4 or 5 of these ultra-liberal judges, and they become, for weeks on time, the most powerful people in the United States. It's sort of delay, eat up a year of the Trump administration. Mueller did it. We did it when he was in the wilderness with lawfare for 4 years. But they don't, it's all a symptom. They have no positive thing to contribute to America. No, let's work with Donald Trump and see if we can compromise and take credit for it. That's not who they are.
But who they are is extremely dangerous to this country, isn't it? This is the manifestation of 120 years of so-called progressivism, what I call American Marxism, where they use the people to try and get votes. And if they don't get votes, they've built these unelected edifices. And isn't the problem for them, Donald Trump, just by common sense and practice, you don't have to be a philosopher king. He knows what's going on. He's trying to get to the root of it. He's going after these entities and so forth. And so they say, wait a minute, we've spent 120 years building this anti-American, anti-Republican, anti-democratic edifice. And now this guy comes in and thinks just because he's elected president of the United States that he gets to run the executive branch. Isn't that the mentality? Isn't that what's going on here?
Absolutely. If you say to them, are you worried that we have $1.5 trillion trade deficit with the world? Are you worried we're paying $3 billion in interest every day with this $37 trillion debt? Are you worried we had no border? We can't find 12 million illegal aliens, 500,000? Are you worried about that? What do you want to do about it? Give us suggestions. Come in and we'll talk with you. They have nothing. They're nihilists. They would rather see Trump lose than America win. That's their attitude.
We'll be right back.